Hey, y'all, the NFL is through week one, and what the heck just happened? Who would have thought that the Buffalo Bills, many people's pick to win the Super Bowl, are now 0-1, and the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers just simply did not show up for game one. And on the flip side, the Saints and the Cardinals, with impressive victories over good teams, they emerged with Tampa as the leaders in the stacked NFC. Welcome to the September 14th Father, Son, and Holy Sports Weekly Podcast. I'm G-Man from Columbus, Ohio. That's my man, T-Money, out in 49er country, San Francisco. Big week, T.
Oh, what's going on, G-Man? That was a blast of a weekend of NFL football. I see we both got our Bengals on here. You know, you got the background, I got the jersey. What a win for Cincinnati. A solid Vikings team. We took to OT and won. So great start to the week as a fan, and it was just so fun to watch all these games.
Hey, yeah. Love that. Hey, we got a jam-packed show. We're going to give you some big picks this week after we deliver for you. In our last show, we're hoping to get you some cash. And all you fantasy managers, look for our special 15-minute fantasy football show that's launched. Look for it on all of our sites. And also look for the separate edition of the T-Ross Chug and Chant coming to you live, a 5-minute video by itself on all of our channels. Look for it. T-Money calling out TB12 in the Bucks. What does he have to say, and what is he going to drink this week? And one of our fun segments is to try to stump T-Money in the trivia of the week. And T-Money, here is our question of the week.
All right.
How many upsets in the NFL in week one? And how does that rank historically? My source that I've now been quoting you is Caesars Sportsbook.
Okay.
How many upsets in the NFL in week one? How did that rank historically? All you fans out there, we love you fans. Hey, see if you can beat T-Money in this question here. And if you like what you're seeing every week, press the like and subscribe. We're on YouTube, Spotify, all the major platforms. Look for our name at Father, Son, and Holy Sport.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to click the subscribe, and let's get into this Ross rundown now. Big weekend, the NFC with Washington, the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys. You know, I'm not too sold on the Giants. I don't think many people are, but people liked Washington before this year. But the Cowboys looked solid versus TB12 and the Bucks. And wow, did the Eagles show up. So, G-Man, what'd you think this weekend of this division, and who do you got winning this thing going forward?
Well, it's anybody. It's up for grabs. This division, just like it was like last year, we just kept on going. Okay, but in terms of the odds, Dallas still at the top. Despite their loss, they're still the favorite in Vegas, plus 135. Washington 275, and the Eagles have moved up. After seeing the performance by the Eagles, they've now climbed. Jalen Hurts doing it. Devontae Smith, man, I tried to get him in my draft and I couldn't get him. Devontae Smith coming, and Miles Sanders, T-Money's old stockpile RB1, man. Miles Sanders came to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who you choose to win the division. Once again, you love to run around these questions. I got to pin you down to answers here, my guy.
I'm giving you the odds. I'm giving you information.
Hey, I think that this division is not the shit show it was last year. Maybe the worst division in football history. But I'll tell you this, I like the Cowboys. They surprised me this weekend hanging with the Bucks, but give me the Eagles, man. Jalen Hurts looked legit. I'm very impressed with how this team played. Now, I thought Atlanta would be a lot better of a team. Maybe they are just a dumpster fire, but man, putting up 32 points on any NFL team is no joke. They looked legit. Jalen Hurts, I love him as a competitor and as a leader. So I'm really happy to see him perform on the field. Man, I like the Eagles. Give me them. If they can have some sort of defense, they could win this division easily.
Yeah, I like the Eagles. Just like I said, I think they're moving up. I'm giving the odds, man. I'm giving the Cowboys are the favorites. If I have to pick somebody, I'll pick the Cowboys right now.
Okay.
But I liked Washington. I don't know what happened to them, man. I don't know what happened to Washington. They didn't really bring that defense like they usually do.
Hey.
And Fitzpatrick getting hurt, okay, fine. But still, I expected more out of the defense.
Hey, holding the Chargers to 20 points isn't horrible. Justin Herbert's supposed to be the next coming of the QB tiers. So, I don't mind it. The defense played okay, but I'm sure that was a shot in the heart when Fitzmagic went down there. The offense wasn't going to be as amazing as I think everyone thought it was in the first place. And now they're kind of dead in the water with Heineke at QB. He's got a ceiling. So I don't know.
Hey, what do you think about him going out, picking up one of those veteran quarterbacks by the name of Cam? I mean, maybe Cam reunites with his coach. What do you think about that?
I don't think they bring him in purely because he's not vaccinated. That's a new big thing. Why bring in a guy just to potentially have him miss weeks? And Ron Rivera is big on vaccination. I'm pretty sure he cussed multiple times at reporters about vaccinations. Hey, I told you earlier, a couple weeks ago, they need to trade for Jimmy G. Here's your chance. Now you've got the green light. Fitzmagic's down. I told you to do this. Trey Lance was in the game this past weekend, looked solid, scored a touchdown. Now, how about you go get him?
Okay. It's going to be interesting, man. You can't overreact to week one. All you fans out there, don't go panic, okay? But it's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But what else you got, man?
Yeah. I want to talk about the other team from Ohio here. The Browns and the Chiefs put on a show this weekend. The Chiefs snuck out with a victory, but the Browns put up a fight there and looked like they had control of this game. Did the Browns prove that they're contenders in your mind, G-Man?
To answer your question directly, yes, they did.
Hey, there's a direct answer. I like that.
But hey, man, they get better and better every year, man. They're coming on. They're doing great. They're doing great. But I told you before this game that everything runs through Kansas City, and it still runs through Kansas City. They came back and took this game. It should have been the Browns. They were down 22-10 at halftime. And how did they let the Chiefs come back? That's what they got to solve.
Yeah. The second half was pretty dismal for them. I mean, I 100% think they're contenders, and they outplayed Kansas City for probably 3/4 of this game. The only thing I would say is Baker's interceptions in the fourth quarter are concerning to me. Since Baker came into the NFL in 2018, he has the most fourth quarter picks of any quarterback in the NFL. So that's interesting. It's not a great stat. I like Baker. I think he did a great job managing this game, did exactly what they needed. They controlled them. I like their aggression going for it on fourth down multiple times. Like, I think they are true contenders. I think they're going to be in the Final Four, and they look like the best in that division with the Ravens and Steelers looking iffy this weekend. But man, I like you said, everything goes through Kansas City. I just don't know if anyone can beat them.
Yeah, both AFC and NFC. We talked a little bit about Tampa, and now we're talking about Kansas City. I think we both predicted, or at least I did, that Tampa, Kansas City meet again. But I think both of those conferences, the other teams are kind of catching up. So we look here at Kansas City, who pretty much walked in the last 2 years into the Super Bowl championship game. They kind of walked in there. Now that's tightening up, man, because you got Buffalo and Pittsburgh, who both played pretty even. Pittsburgh's back. New England invested a lot of money, and although they lost, they look good, and Miami's still there. And now you've got my man behind me. Watch out, Cincinnati. Watch out. And the Chargers, also in the AFC, and two teams that lost this weekend, the Titans and the Colts. Okay, nobody's talking about now, but look at all those teams that are going after Kansas City.
Yeah, I personally don't think any of them have made a catch-up to Kansas City. The Bills maybe, but I was never sold on them. I think the Browns are the only true other team that could beat Kansas City legitimately in a playoff game. I don't see any of those guys. I think they're all okay teams, and I think they're all solid playoff teams that you named, but I don't know. Don't see them as true contenders, but let's move on to someone that I do think had a hell of a weekend.
Yeah.
I want to talk if their team and this guy is a contender. Kyler Murray, man, what a showing this guy had. 5 total touchdowns. The Titans were contenders. I mean, they made the playoffs last year, won a playoff game. I mean, Kyler Murray ran all over them, threw all over them. Is he an MVP candidate right now?
Well, of course he is. Yes, he is. And he was last year. Remember, he was lighting it up at the beginning of last year, but the guy's got to finish it up, man.
Yeah.
He's got to finish it and take it all the way. Yes, he definitely is playing well. Here's the odds right now for the MVP. Number 1 is Mahomes. Number 2 is Stafford. Stafford made the biggest move over the weekend after week one in the NFL MVP odds. Stafford's now number 2. Brady is number 3, tied with Kyler Murray. So those are your top 4. Josh Allen's next for the MVP odds. So Stafford made the biggest move.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kyler's going to be right there, though. He played great. He's got total control of this offense now. He just running all over these guys. And even though he can get out of the pocket, he stays in throwing motion. That's what I like about this guy. He is clearly a pass first guy. They look primed to make a playoff run. That division's going to be extremely tough, but they have the weapons. And if you can hold a contender with Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry to 13 points like they did the Titans, I mean, they can make a real run at this. That was pretty impressive. That defense had 5 sacks. Chandler Jones alone had 5 sacks. I'm sorry. I mean, that was impressive. That's a hell of a day for them. So
yeah, defense looked great. And you look at that conference, they're 4-0 for the weekend. All 4 teams had great quarterback play. Stafford and Murray division. Russell Wilson played great. Jimmy G played great.
He did.
Those 4 quarterbacks all played well in that conference. It's going to be a bloodbath in the NFC West.
It really is. That's toughest division by far, and it's going to be fun to watch that division.
Hey, man. Hey, it's great to get those points, man. I love it. Let's go to Ross v. Ross.
All right.
And we want to talk about which rookie quarterback looked the best in week one. We've been talking about these rookies ever since before the draft. And now the 5 first-round picks are out there. They're out for our display. How'd they look after week one, man? Who looked best to you?
Justin Fields. And I know it's crazy. The guy was out there for a few plays. He only threw 2 passes, but he was 2 for 2, and he ran for a touchdown. And I'm really saying this because mostly Andy Dalton's not good at football. And you watched him play. He scores 14 points. He doesn't have any touchdowns. He throws a pick. I mean, Andy Dalton didn't look good. So I don't know why you're out there trying to throw Andy Dalton out there to prove a point. Justin Fields is dynamic, can run and throw, looked like the better quarterback, will be the better quarterback. Everyone knows he should be out there, which is killing the overall, excitement of even the players and the motivation of the players. Justin Fields looked like the best because Andy Dalton didn't look good. So I would go Justin Fields, even though some other rookies threw some more passes.
All right, well, I'm going to work my way to the answer. I'm going to analytically tell you why I took people out. Number 1, 2 guys got no time. Okay, Lance and Fields didn't get any time, so how can I pick them as looking the best? I agree with your point. I mean, Fields should be out there, okay, but you didn't ask me that. You said which one looked best I said that. I asked you which one looked best. But I didn't think that Lance or Fields, even though they got potential, they just not get enough time, man. They're not getting out there. We'll talk about that later. Nagy, I don't know what he's doing, man. How about the guys that played a lot? 3 of them played a lot. Wilson from the Jets. I mean, he didn't do bad. He did okay. The offensive line is horrible. They don't have the players for the most part. The guy's good. He's a good player, but he's one of those guys that we talked about before, ended up on a bad team. Trevor, he played a lot. He only threw for 55%. The guy's throwing all over the yard.
Yeah.
The guy is so much confidence. 3 interceptions, though. Throwing 55% completion rate. I do love the guy. I mean, I love his nature. He has so much confidence. But he just didn't play well. So I got to narrow it down to the last guy that's left standing. But Mac Jones is looking the best. The guy's he's got confidence. He threw for 74% completion rate, 281 yards, 1 touchdown. He did not get an interception against that vaunted Miami defense. They did not get a turnover against him. I think Jones was just right down the middle, nothing fancy, just what Belichick wants.
I agree with you. Mac actually did look the best. I will concede here purely because your elimination process was probably smarter. I just think Fields needs to be on the goddamn field. Okay.
I know. I agree with you, man.
But
I agree
Mac
with
Jones,
man,
he did look really good. He's not going to wow you. That's not him. And That's what he's known for. Accuracy is his thing. He's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. And you're right. He does exactly what Belichick and the Patriots want. 74%. If you could be above 70% completion, you're going to win a lot of games with no turnovers. So I'm surprised
against a team that's supposed to have a good D.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't win this one. I like Mac Jones for his first outing. I mean, he looked better than Tua in my opinion. So
I know.
Like I would be happy if I was the Patriots.
Hey, let's move on to the picks of the week. Let's keep this moving. And let me tell you, G-Man goes 2-0 last week. I told you guys to go with San Fran, although they scared me. They had a big lead, and they almost blew the whole thing. Giving away 7.5, they win by 8. I mean, I'm okay. Raiders on the dog lock last night. Bring it home. G-Man carried y'all. Overall, T-Money and G bringing it for you guys 3-1. Let's go for our picks of the week. Lock pick of the week, starting out with G-Man here. I'm going Saints. They look good. You said they look good. You said you liked them, T-Money. I'm going to go with them again. At Carolina, they go for that interdivisional matchup. And I just think the Saints had it on offense. They had it on defense. And here's a little stat for you. New Orleans is a road favorite. 8-3 against the spread since 2019. I'm going Saints on the road and cover the 3.
All right. I like it. Saints, I think I like the pick. That was very close to being mine. I'm going to go with another team that looked really good, though. The Rams and Matthew Stafford. -4 versus the Colts. There they are, baby. There's the Rams redemption tour back in the day, man. But hey, the Colts did not look good. They only scored 16 points versus an average Seahawks defense. And the Rams defense might be the best in the NFL. I think they're going to come in there, put up a lot of points. And I think 4 is an easy one. I don't see the Colts doing anything special. And if the Seahawks are going to put up 28 with that bad offensive line, the Rams offensive line is much better. Weapons just as good. I'll take the Rams -4.
Okay. I like you going with my Rams, man. You're going with my man. Okay.
Stafford's my pick for MVP here. So don't be talking like they're your Rams here. Come on.
Come on. Matthew's on my fantasy team. That's my man right there. Okay.
It's a different show, Gary.
Cooper Kupp, baby. Cooper Kupp. Did you see Cooper go off?
He did.
And he was in the end zone. They did not get him at the 1 yard line. Let Cooper score, man. Hey, let's go with a dog lock. We're picking the dog that we think is a lock. I'm going to start off here. I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals at Chicago. Chicago favorite by 3.5. Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox. The Bengals, yes, they have work to do, but this guy behind me, everybody loves watching him play, man. He just has that aura. And Jamar Chase, all you doubters, all you haters on Jamar Chase, chasing Higgins out there. Come on, man. Just what T-Money said. The Bengals go into Chicago. They win the game. They go 2-0. And Nagy next week announces Justin Fields the starter.
He better if they lose to the Bengals, because that's a pretty bad offensive line and defense. That's an interesting one. That Chicago defense is for real. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think it's going to be close. If the Bengals play like they did last week, though, that's a solid pick. So
Bears favored by 3.5. They could kind of get in there and still cover.
Yeah, they could still cover for sure. So dog lock those. Who's going to win? When they're
if they win the game, that's great.
Who's gonna win here if they're +3 or more? But I'm going Cowboys +3 to the Chargers here. Chargers are favored by 3. They struggled a little bit, versus the Washington football team. Fitzy went out, and then they kind of lucked out on winning that game there. The Cowboys, on the other hand, they looked really good versus a very tough Bucs defense. I was impressed with how the defense held up, which was supposed to be their weak point, how well they played versus a tough defense, how well Dak played. I think the Cowboys win this one, and I think it's a high scoring one, but the Cowboys win.
Yeah, the over-under is 55. It's the highest scoring game of the week. Kansas City Ravens are also 55. 55 points. Going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
At LA Chargers, though, man, that's That's a bold pick right there against your man Herbert. I thought you loved Herbert, man.
Hey, high scoring. He can get me points. That's fine.
He can get you points. He can get you points. I like it, man. Dallas, I mean, that would really create some excitement if Dallas could get on track like that. Hey, let's move on to the Woundwise trivia of the week. And I'm reading for you. Woundwise IQ, a patented mobile imaging and analytics software app that is used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic wounds. Just download the app from the App Store. You're ready to go. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. T-Money. Here's the question for you and all you fans out there. You got the answer? How many upsets in the NFL in week 1? And how did that rank historically? Caesars Sportsbook is the source. T-Money. How many upsets week 1?
I mean, I honestly have no clue. This is such a shot in the dark. This is,
16 games.
I mean, I don't know. 3? I mean,
3.
I'm assuming it's like 7 because you're saying historical preference here, but I don't remember it being that many upsets. So 5. I'll go 5. And historically, Raiders, I don't know. Go ahead.
What the Raiders win last night, they tied the historical record with 9 upsets in week 1.
Wow.
Since 1970. Well, there's been 9 upsets in 1980, 1983, and now 2021. 9 is the most upsets in week 1.
I didn't know. I mean, there you go.
What do you think about that? I mean, look at this thing, man.
I think there's a lot more parity. I think there's a lot more parity in this year in the league than there has been in a lot of years in the past.
And the other thing, people coming off of COVID, do you really know how good the teams are? Maybe the odds makers just trying to get a feel for the teams. I don't know, but you look at the biggest divisional surprises in week 1. I have 2 observations for you when it talks about upsets and all of this stuff in week 1. AFC South. Who would have guessed that the Texans would be 1-0 and the Titans, Jags, and Colts would all be 0-1? AFC South, the Houston Texans are in the lead.
Shocking, but they also got to play the next worst team in the league. So
I know, but it's crazy, isn't it? Hey, the other one is, how about the Bills struggling at home against the Steelers? Everybody wrote the Steelers off. The Bills were going to the Super Bowl. And guess what happens, man? In the AFC East now, the Dolphins are 1-0, and the Bills, Patriots, and Jets are all 0-1.
Crazy. The Bills did not look good, so it's going to be an interesting divisional race there.
Well, this week, the Bills travel to the Dolphins. This weekend, the Bills bounce back. They're favored by 3.5 against the favored by 3.5 against the Steelers. They host the Raiders, favored by 6.5. So it's going to be some big games there, breaking the will the Bills and Steelers. What direction are they going to go this weekend? Steelers host the Raiders.
We'll see.
And Steelers could go to 2-0. Watch out, everybody in the Steel City, baby. All right. Hey, we hope you love the show. You know that we love you. And if you do love us, hey, man, press the like and subscribe button for us. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Thank you to Woundwise IQ for sponsoring our trivia of the week. And if you're interested in being a sponsor or a guest on the show, hey, reach out to us next week. We set you up for week 3 of the NFL season. Let's go, T-Money. Week 2 of the NFL is coming at you.
Here we go, baby. Bengals undefeated right now. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going, man. I can't wait. You have a good weekend, G.
Bengals.